The grace of God has touched your life in this moment. Take a moment of stillness and open your heart to the blessings destined for your finance. As Padre Pio, I remind you that prayer is the key that unlocks the treasures of heaven. God, in His infinite love, has chosen to reveal to you this sacred truth. You are His cherished child, and He has planned wonders for you that surpass human understanding. This is not chance, it is divine providence. Reflect on the words of Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Hold these words close to your heart, for they are alive in this very moment. The hand of God is at work, weaving every detail of your life into a masterpiece of grace and abundance. Soon, you will witness His divine intervention in a way that will bring transformation to your spirit and illuminate the path before you. The struggles of the past have been the soil where the seeds of faith were sown. Now, as these seeds bloom, your journey is being redirected toward a destiny far greater than any earthly aspiration. Trust in this holy unfolding and let the peace of Christ dwell deeply within you. The trials you endured, though painful, were never in vain. Each tear you shed was seen by God, and every prayer whispered in faith has been heard. Psalm 23 assures us, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul." Take solace in this truth, for you are entering a season of renewal and grace. God is calling you to listen closely, to discern His voice amidst the noise of the world. This revelation is sacred, meant to prepare you not only for receiving, but also for giving. Your life will be a testament to His mercy, a beacon that draws others closer to Him. Remember that blessings are never meant to stop with us. They flow through us to bless others. This moment of divine revelation is a reminder of the infinite love of Christ. Every rejection, every closed door was a step in the divine choreography of your life, leading you to this exact moment. The fire of adversity has refined your soul, just as gold is purified in the furnace. You have been made ready for the outpouring of His grace. Now, as you step into this new season, let gratitude overflow. Proclaim your faith boldly, saying, "Lord, I believe. Lord, I trust." These simple acts of surrender will open your heart to receive the fullness of His promise. And as you are blessed, never forget to glorify His name and extend that blessing to others. Your journey is not only about personal transformation, but also about becoming an instrument of His divine will. Let this truth anchor your soul. The hardships of your past do not define you. They were the means through which God prepared you for His perfect plan. Every wound has been a vessel for His healing, every tear a prayer, and every loss a preparation for gain. Trust in His timing, for Ecclesiastes assures us, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Dear one, walk forward in faith, for you are chosen, you are beloved, and you are prepared for the abundance that awaits. May you remain steadfast in prayer, vigilant in faith, and ever trusting in His divine mercy. Continue to walk in faith, as Padre Pio would counsel, embracing the understanding that every step, whether joyful or painful, is part of a divine tapestry beyond human comprehension. What lies ahead is greater than anything left behind, for God, in His infinite love, prepares only what is best for His children. When the miracle arrives, let it stand as a luminous testimony to the boundless power, love, and faithfulness of God. Your life, beloved soul, is poised for transformation, though it may unfold in ways unforeseen. Be ready, for the Lord's blessings come not with fanfare, but with profound purpose. Give thanks not only for the blessings seen, but for those still hidden in the depths of His plan. Praise Him in all circumstances, for your abundance has arrived. Trust in His divine will, embrace His perfect timing, and walk forward with courage, for He has prepared a future of unimaginable beauty for you. This, dear child, is your moment. This is your blessing. This is your appointed time. Remember always that God sees your silent tears, hears the prayers whispered from the depths of your heart, and understands the burdens you carry. In moments when the world feels overwhelming, when the weight of life presses down upon you, do not despair. God is with you. I recall my own nights of anguish, crying out to the heavens, questioning the purpose of my trials. Why, Lord? I would ask. Why this suffering? Why these endless tribulations? Padre Pio often posed the same questions in his moments of deepest anguish. Yet, in the stillness of my heart, as in his, God revealed a profound truth. The battles we endure are not meant to destroy us, but to prepare us for a greater calling. Each tear, beloved, is a seed sown in faith. Every challenge is a step closer to the fulfillment of God's plan, a transformation that aligns us more perfectly with His purpose. I remember the desolation of my soul during times when life felt barren, like an endless desert void of hope. Efforts seemed fruitless, prayers unanswered, and the silence of God deafening. Padre Pio, too, described such moments as the dark night of the soul, when surrender seemed the only path forward. Yet it was in those moments of surrender, when I could do no more, that His grace became most evident. He stepped into my storm, not because I was deserving, but because of His infinite mercy. He lifted me when I had no strength left, performing wonders beyond human capability. Now I tell you, He will do the same for you. If the burdens you carry feel too great, remember that God has not abandoned you. Even in the shadow of the valley of death, fear not, for He is with you. Padre Pio often reminded us that our pain, though intense, is not without purpose. It is the fire refining us, like gold being purified of its impurities. The trials you face are the tools shaping you into a masterpiece of divine craftsmanship. The fire may seem unbearable, but its outcome is a brilliance beyond your imagination. As Isaiah reminds us, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Trust in this promise, for the strength sustaining you is not your own, it is the hand of God. Every step, whether clear or uncertain, has been guided by His wisdom. The same God who carried Padre Pio through his trials is carrying you now, preparing a future filled with blessings that far outweigh the pain of today. So I ask you, do you trust Him fully? Are you prepared to release your fears and allow Him to lead your life? Today could be the day when everything changes, the day His promise is fulfilled in your life. Open your heart to receive the miracle you've been praying for, and when it arrives, remember that it is not chance, but the evidence of His divine will. Beloved child of God, your time is now. The blessing you have longed for is here. He has prepared this gift not as a mere solution to worldly needs, but as a testament to His eternal love. Padre Pio often spoke of the divine spark within each of us, a gift waiting to shine for God's glory. Trust in Him, for His promises never fail, and know that His plan for you is infinitely greater than what you could imagine. You are loved beyond measure, and His grace surrounds you now and always. By the end of this message, may you come to understand how to unlock the divine treasure entrusted to you and step into the life of abundance that God has lovingly prepared. Let us reflect on a sacred truth shared by Christ in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 34. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. How often have we, as frail mortals, allowed the fear of the unknown to rob us of peace? Sleepless nights filled with doubt, endless anxiety, and a restless yearning to control every outcome. These burdens are not ours to bear. Remember, dear souls, true control belongs solely to God. He is the master architect, and his plan is far more intricate and wondrous than our limited minds can fathom. God does not ask us to diminish our struggles or pretend they do not exist. No, he sees every wound, hears every cry, and knows the depths of every sorrow. Yet Christ reminds us to dwell in the present moment, for it is in this sacred space that God reveals his wonders. To dwell in the uncertain future is to close our eyes to the miracles that unfold here and now. Even when the silence feels oppressive, trust that God is quietly aligning circumstances, paving paths, and preparing blessings beyond measure. Recall the comforting words of Psalm 23:1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He is your provider, protector, and ever-faithful guide through every storm and every valley. Think of the trust of a child, playing freely without a care for tomorrow's concerns, wholly secure in the love and provision of their parents. This childlike trust is the essence of what God desires from you. Lay down your burdens and find rest in his unwavering faithfulness. Life may test us, but his promises endure. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 calls us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Now, envision standing in utter darkness, fear pressing in from every side. Suddenly, a faint light emerges, small but steady. As you take cautious steps toward it, the light grows, illuminating a path and revealing a door. This door is no ordinary passage. It is the embodiment of God's promise, peace, joy, abundance, and divine fulfillment. The light guiding you is Christ himself, the lamp unto your feet and the light unto your path. Yet, my dear ones, understand this vital truth. While God may open the door, it is you who must walk through it. What binds you? Is it fear, hesitation, or the shadows of past regrets? The Father calls you to step forward in faith, trusting him completely and embrace the destiny he has lovingly prepared for you. Imagine the freedom of surrender, releasing every worry into his hands and embracing the peace that surpasses all understanding. Reflect now on the gifts and talents he has placed within you. They are not by chance, but are divine tools crafted for your purpose. Perhaps you have doubted your worth or questioned your calling. Let me assure you, you are a beloved creation, fearfully and wonderfully made. Your worth is not measured by failures or shortcomings, but by the boundless love of your Creator, who knows your name and calls you his own. Take a moment to dwell in gratitude. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the heart to divine abundance. What blessings surround you today? Perhaps it is the simple gift of breath, the warmth of companionship, or the strength to persevere. Gratitude transforms our vision, allowing us to see God's goodness even amidst trials, assuring us that we are never abandoned. Now visualize the breakthrough God has prepared for you. Picture the financial blessing arriving at the perfect moment, the opportunities he has tailored for your growth, and the doors he has set before you. Walk through them with courage and faith, for the one who calls you is faithful and true. He will never forsake you, and his love is everlasting. Trust in him, and you will know the fullness of his promises. Let me guide your spirit as Padre Pio would, steeped in the profound understanding that God's grace operates beyond our human comprehension. Imagine the weight of worry being lifted from your shoulders as you surrender to the divine will of our Heavenly Father, trusting in His perfect timing. This is not a fleeting hope or a romantic notion, but the lived reality of those who embrace God's plan with humility and devotion. As I often reminded the faithful, pray, hope, and don't worry. Worry is useless. God is merciful and will hear your prayer. Recall the words of Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. These are not idle promises, but the very foundation of a life lived in surrender to the divine. Trust in God means releasing our human understanding and allowing His infinite wisdom to guide us, knowing that His blessings are boundless and uniquely crafted for each of His children. But my dear soul, faith demands action. To receive God's gifts, you must open your heart and take the first step, even when the path is shrouded in uncertainty. As I often counseled those seeking guidance, the door is open and the Lord waits for you to cross the threshold. Will you take the step of faith, or will you let fear bind you? This is the choice that will determine the course of your journey, not just here on earth, but in eternity. Raise your heart to heaven and declare with conviction, Lord, I trust you, I believe in your promises, and I am ready to receive your blessings. These are not just words, but a prayer that unites your will with His divine plan. When you step forward in faith, you enter into the abundant life that God has promised. But remember, my child, this abundance is not measured in earthly wealth or comfort, but in the eternal joy of His presence and the peace that surpasses all understanding. I urge you to consider the words of Psalm 34:7. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him, and He delivers them. This is not just a poetic assurance, but a truth I have witnessed in my own ministry. God's angels walk with you, clearing obstacles that seem insurmountable and lighting the way toward His blessings. I saw this in the lives of those who came to me with burdens too heavy to carry, sick bodies, tormented souls, broken hearts, and left with a newfound strength born of trust in God's providence. Faith, however, requires perseverance. Do you trust God even when circumstances seem bleak? Do you believe His hand is at work in your life, even when the world whispers otherwise? I have seen many falter under the weight of trials, their prayers laden with doubt, but I reminded them that it is in these very moments that God's power shines brightest. Reflect on Isaiah 40:29. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, He increases strength. These words are the cornerstone of hope, a reminder that in our frailty, God's strength is perfected. You may feel alone in your struggles, but I assure you, you are not. Every tear, every sorrow, every moment of despair is known to God. He calls you to lay these burdens at His feet, as Christ invites in Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I experienced this divine rest through the countless hours I spent in prayer, bearing the wounds of Christ and offering my own suffering for the salvation of others. It is a reminder that none of your pain is wasted. It becomes a prayer, a sacrifice, a path to grace. The Lord's promises are eternal. If He has spoken victory, it is assured. If He has whispered prosperity, no power can withhold it. But these blessings require your trust, your faith, and your willingness to follow His lead. He has mapped your journey, and His plans for you are filled with hope and purpose. Listen to Him as He whispers to your heart, My child, I see your struggles and your doubts, but know this, I am with you. Every step of your path, I guide you. Do not fear, for I have overcome the world." As Padre Pio, I tell you to take heart and place all your trust in the Lord. The riches of this world are fleeting and cannot satisfy the soul's hunger for the divine. It is in prayer, in the quiet surrender to God's will, that you will find peace and fulfillment. Trust Him, dear one, for His love is boundless, His mercy infinite, and His blessings beyond your imagining. Pray, hope, and don't worry. Leave the rest to God. Many pursue fleeting treasures, only to find their hearts restless, like ships adrift in a vast ocean without an anchor. But you were not brought into this world for such aimless wandering. You were destined for a divine purpose rooted in God's eternal plan. As Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." This is the cornerstone of a fulfilled life, the key to unlocking blessings far beyond human comprehension. It is not about striving through sheer effort, but surrendering to God's will, allowing Him to guide every step. Take a moment to reflect on how God has already worked in your life. Every challenge, though painful, serves as His tool to refine your spirit, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for His blessings. Your trials were not in vain. They were necessary to draw you closer to Him. Even when the world tempts you to give up, trust in God's perfect timing, knowing that He turns all things for your good. Padre Pio often emphasized that true wealth is not found in material possessions, though God provides for our needs. The greatest treasure lies in His presence, a peace that surpasses understanding and a joy unshaken by life's storms. The true richness of life comes from knowing God, walking in His light, and embracing the freedom found in grace. Cast off fears, relinquish the need for control, and trust in God's plans, which are infinitely greater than your own. By stepping forward in faith, you will witness His promises unfold in ways that leave you in awe of His goodness. This is the moment to claim the blessings God has prepared. Stand firm in His word, let His love guide you, and walk into a future filled with hope and abundance. The Creator of the universe is with you, Padre Pio would remind us, and with Him nothing is impossible. Reflecting on Christ's assurance, "I am with you always, even to the end of the age," be confident that this promise is eternal, a constant reminder of God's unwavering love. Each of us is formed with a divine plan beyond human understanding. To seek God's kingdom first means placing Him above all things, your work, ambitions, fears, and doubts. It is a declaration of trust, saying, "Lord, I believe you know what is best for me." Focus on eternal truths, trusting God to handle the temporary. Entrusting your life to Him is not surrendering your identity, but placing it in the hands of infinite care. Consider the birds of the sky. They neither sow nor reap, yet God provides for them. Are you not of far greater worth to Him? Why then do you worry about tomorrow? Trust in His guidance, for His plans are perfect. Quoting Psalm 21, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you. Find solace in His word." The world's distractions, voices urging you to chase wealth and measure happiness by fleeting standards, can overwhelm. Amid this clamor, God's gentle voice calls you to a path of peace and purpose. When you prioritize His kingdom, overwhelming burdens shrink, for He is greater than any trial. Open your heart to Him, and His power will work through your life, proving that with Him nothing is impossible. If your heart feels heavy and your soul weary, it may be because you are carrying burdens never meant for you. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest," Christ invites us. This rest renews and heals, offering the peace your soul longs for. Padre Pio's teachings remind us that seeking God's kingdom involves not only trust, but living according to his teachings, acting justly, loving others, and forgiving even when it seems impossible. While forgiveness can feel unattainable, God is the healer of hearts. Jesus himself faced trials, trusted completely in God's plan, and triumphed. By following his example, you too can overcome life's challenges and declare confidently, "I am a conqueror in Christ Jesus." Let me share with you a reflection to reveal the boundless love and grace that surrounds you. Recall the parable of the prodigal son, a story of a young man who took his inheritance, squandered it in reckless living, and found himself in despair. Yet upon his return, his father did not condemn him, but ran to meet him with open arms, rejoicing in his homecoming. Such is the way divine grace embraces you, no matter how far you believe you have wandered. There are no limits to this mercy. What you have done does not define you. It is love that remains unchanging and eternal. Many among you carry burdens of the heart, shame, guilt, regret. These weights press heavily on your spirit, making the path seem unbearable. But these burdens are not yours to bear alone. Offer them up in trust, and they will be lifted, for grace is a balm to the wounded soul. As the psalmist prayed, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me," so too are you called to seek renewal through surrender. Confession is not a mark of failure, but an act of liberation, a doorway through which grace flows into every corner of your life. Forgiveness, too, is a profound gift, both to receive and to offer. It does not erase the hurt, nor dismiss the injustice, but it entrusts these wounds to divine wisdom and timing. When you forgive, you mirror the compassion of Christ and live out the teachings of the gospel. Begin with small acts of forgiveness, letting your heart grow accustomed to this sacred act. In time, you will find the strength to forgive greater wrongs. Pray for those who have caused you pain, bless them, and take a single step toward reconciliation. This act of grace can inspire others to seek peace and freedom, rippling outward in ways beyond your understanding. Take a moment now to reflect on who you are, a beloved child, chosen and cherished. Every step of your journey was written with intention, and even in trials, there is purpose. These challenges are shaping you into the person you were meant to be. Surrender your burdens, let grace renew your spirit, and embrace the freedom offered to you. Trust that you are never abandoned. You walk not alone, but in the presence of unwavering love and provision. If these words have touched your heart, let them ripple outward to others who yearn for solace and hope. Padre Pio often reminded us that love, when shared, multiplies. It is the thread that binds us to one another and to the divine. Join this sanctuary of faith, where compassion is a living flame and blessings flow abundantly. May the peace of the Almighty embrace your soul, and may you walk forward with the quiet assurance that His care surrounds you, now and for eternity. Share your thoughts and reflections below. Your words might be the comfort someone else is seeking.